Okay, guys, now it's time to welcome in. Chael, I feel faster already. Chael, I saw you kind of move your shoulders like that. Like when Dominick Cruz gets on the screen, it feels like we want to move our feet. We want to move like Cruz, right, Chael?
I do. I like the motion of Cruz. I've tried that little sweet sugar step Dominic does. I can't get it down. TJ Dillashaw copied it perfectly. I can't get it down.
I bought it. I bought his tape, Move Like Cruz, which, by the way, Dominic, you should have sold it online opposed to VHS. Chael, I had to buy a VHS, purchase a VCR to watch and try to move like Cruz. I'm in my living room kind of doing this stuff. It just don't work.
The fact that you have a VCR blows me away, DC.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. Where'd you get a VCR? A garage sale? The hell did you get that? An antique store?
It's all his old Ron Jeremy films he used to watch.
Oh, Dom, thank you for joining us, my friend. Dom, we are having you on to try and figure out what was the fight of the year in a year where there were so many great fights. Dom, I'll give you some examples. How about Sean Strickland versus Dricus du Plessis? Yair Rodriguez taking on Brian Ortega. Gilbert Burns and Jack Della Maddalena. Poirier Saint-Denis. Prohaska versus Rakic. Gaethje Holloway. Makhachev Poirier Gamrot Hooker. Zell Huber versus Ribovic at the Sphere, which was tremendous. Pereira versus Roundtree. Brandon Royval versus Tatsuro Taira. Or any other fight you could think about on the entire year. For you, what was your fight of the year?
First of all, I got the pleasure of wrestling with both you studs. Thank you for being the baddest wrestlers I've gotten to roll with. And to touch on that, that's why I got to kind of go with Gaethje too. He never uses his wrestling, but I think that because he doesn't, it made for one of the most exciting fights of the year, and that was versus Holloway. I would say as for the level of technique that they used, and as for the way that they fought and made it entertaining for the fans, I got to go with Gaethje Holloway. And a close second is DDP versus Strickland.
That was a great fight. Chael, what do you got, champ?
Dricus du Plessis makes my list, but it was opposite his biggest nemesis, Israel Adesanya. That fight, first off, is closer than people remember it being. Adesanya had won one of the rounds, and there was only 3 completed rounds, or that ended round number 3. It was back and forth, and Dricus had to ultimately beat Izzy at his own game. He had to be better with the punches and the kicking than Adesanya was. They went to the ground. It got pretty dirty. They were grappling. They both had effort. They both had a lot of grit. There was so much on the line that was personal, in addition to the World Championship and setting up the next fights throughout 2024, but even leading into 2025. I think one of the most significant fights, and I'm going to put it as the best fight, was Dricus and Izzy Adesanya.
Yeah, and it's all, the beautiful thing about these fights, I'm looking at the numbers. It's all numbered cards, right? The biggest fights happen on the pay-per-views, except for Rodriguez Ortega and except for Royval and Tatsuro Taira. But for me, I'm not falling victim, guys, to the name, right? Because as pundits, as fans, as people that watch the sport at times, we fall in love with the name. It's honestly why you'll fight in a pay-per-view and you'll get a fight of the night bonus or performance when you really don't deserve it. Like, you're in the main event, you're making more money than everybody else in the card, and you win, but there's always fights in the beginning that are better. Honestly, they're just better fights. So I'm not falling victim to the name, and I'm actually going with the fight between Zell Huber and Ribovic at UFC 306 when those guys fought at the Sphere. Remember, all right, chill. Remember how bad Daniel Zell Huber had him hurt early. Remember how bad he had Daniel Zell Huber hurt late. Remember the grit, the determination that these two young men showed on Mexican Independence Day to show why they were put on that Sphere card. It was all stand-up, barely any wrestling. It was tit for tat. It was as good a fight as any we saw all year. And I'm not falling victim, Chael, to the blockbuster. I'm the guy, Chael, that's going in to watch a independent movie, and I'm not watching Ghostbusters. I'm not watching the Avengers. I'm going to go watch something that speaks to my heart, Chael, and that fight speaks to my heart.
Sure. No, you did a good job there. You showed your level of sophistication. It was boring as all hell to hear your justification, but yeah, no, you did a better job. Dominick and I said names that fans will know. They're going to have to go to Google for what you brought up, but definitely real high quality champagne you're drinking there today, DC. Well done.
Yeah, DC trying to show how smart he is. I'm with you, bro. But we've all had to be in the food stamp line before, and we still like the food. Okay.
Dom, but you remember that fight. If anybody remembers that, it's you.
Barely.
You know this better than us. You know.
Listen, I loved that fight because
Vaguely.
I loved that they threw down with the Mexican spirit in the sphere, in the biggest event in the history of the year. Just the event itself was the biggest event. So I can get with that, with what DC's saying. And I can also add other things to this at the same time. Other fight, Lerone Murphy versus Barbosa was also another one. Lerone Murphy's undefeated. He went in there against a vet like Barbosa. We could go on for days for all these guys of how many people could win Fighter of the Year. But we had a list, so we used the list. DC looked for the very bottom of the list and wanted to hype each other. It's okay. That's what he's here for.
You guys are bullying. You guys are absolutely bullying. You. That's why, and honestly, that's why I always refuse to work with you two together specifically, because y'all gang up on me, and y'all bully me. Hey, Dom,
It's love.
Dom, those are hand wraps?
I just got done hitting pads. I came off the pad work to come see you guys. That's how much I love you guys.
No, you love Chael.
I love both. DC, come on, bro. You're like a teddy bear, bro, that I never got to hug.
Dom, tell me and Chael. Do we look like it? Do it, Chael.
With the green screen behind you, you look like whoever you want, DC.
There is no green screen. These are very, very sophisticated, expensive living rooms that Chael and I have. Don't do that, Dom. Do not do that, Dom. These are very expensive living rooms.
All I'm saying is you look way faster with it behind you. I'm just saying.
Dom, you're the man, bro.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Dom.
Cheers, guys.
All right, guys. Till next time.